Bada boom, bada bang, bada glide. Look at this thing. This is one of the weirdest colorways of the year. It's not bad, or I guess of last year. It's not bad, but it's also not good. I think the colorway of the upper, the name for the color of the upper is oatmeal. That perfectly describes this. This is like lime flavored oatmeal. Would that be bad or good? I don't know. Lime flavored oatmeal, but it's not a common color combination. Just like tan with a lime green plus white and black accents is not a common color combination. So guess what, man? It's winter, it's cold. I've been freezing all week. You've probably been freezing all week. You might even be running on the treadmill. So if you want some motivation for your winter miles, you know where this is going, but it's gonna have a spin today. Sign up for the Supwell app. I'm also launching a community challenge in the Supwell app related to treadmill running, so we can make our runs this month in January more fun. So there's gonna be prizes if you're interested in the best hobby jogger community out there. And man, every day somebody on the app says, this is the best community. I love this community. And guess what? It's not because of me. I had nothing to do with it. It's because of you. It's because of the people who join the app and make it the gosh dang best community. So if you want a community this winter to help you get through the dark slag days of freezing cold runs, people always talk about dog days of summer. No, it's the slog days of winter. It's absolutely miserable. So if you want someone to make this winter less miserable, get on the Supwell app. We have shenanigans on there talking about different colorways coming out, people dropping jokes left and right, people putting their runs on the Run Report. Just get in there. It's $5 to get started. We are launching the community challenge for January. It's gonna be a lot of fun. You also have the best buy, sell, and trade marketplace out there. People have saved hundreds of dollars. Again, I see these posts all the time. People have saved hundreds of dollars on new shoes. So make sure you're signed up for the Supwell app. Enjoy today's video and please stay warm. Alright, man, it is 7:21, meaning it's time for me to start listening to some Currency and cleaning the kitchen. But before I do that, we need to fire up the weather, because look at this. We are on snow watch. Not for tomorrow. So today's Wednesday. Tomorrow's Thursday. We're on snow watch for Friday. It's going to be 24, low of 24, high of 38. I don't check the weather all that often, but I saw a snow emoji and I just had to. But we are continuing to get some miles in the cold. And for the past 2 days, I've just been complaining about the cold, man. It is 30 right now. It usually doesn't get this cold in the Carolinas. Tomorrow, again, low of 21, high of 39. Today was 20 to 40, so I am going to stop complaining. I'm going to bundle up tomorrow morning in my warmest, most luxurious winter clothes possible, and we are going to be running in the comfiest, smoothest, soft boy winter shoe out there, the Asics Glide Ride Max. So no more complaining. We're just going to get to work. Look at that. I've been bumping Larry June all day, and you know where we have to go tonight. This is the most classic Cleaning the Kitchen album of all time. Let me show you. Bang. If you want to be inspired to grind while you're cleaning the kitchen, just plotting, Covert Coup. Currency in The Alchemist. Bang. I'll see you guys later. So I'm not usually up this late. It is 9:40 p.m. right now. Well, the oven says 9:39. My watch says 9:40. I trust the watch. I think the watch is connected to the satellites. But I got out of bed. I was reading Wall Street Journal in bed. I actually do still read the physical newspaper. It's crazy. One of my goals for this year is to read the newspaper every week. I just get the weekend one. I used to do it in 2021, 2022. Clockwork. I would read almost cover to cover, but so busy with, well, for a while busy with business school, and now with this that I don't do it anymore. Anyway, I was reading in bed and I got out and I was hungry, so I decided to make a bagel. And I always talk about trade-offs, right? And this week I've been talking a lot about how, well, just complaining about the cold, but how I also feel like my fueling hasn't been on point. And one of the trade-offs for me with fueling sometimes is sleep, because I have to wake up earlier to get a huge breakfast if I want to fuel appropriately before a longer run, or
I have to do this later night snack. Now, I'm not sacrificing a ton of sleep, but one of the other trade-offs is also people talk about you don't want to have anything in your stomach while you're sleeping because it's not as good for recovery. Well, if you're also bonking, hitting a wall at mile 9 of a 14-mile workout and having to slow down to 10-minute per mile pace when your goal is a 7 or a 7:30, which one is worse? Not having the exact optimal chemicals coursing through your veins when you're sleeping, or your workout going terribly? For me, what's worse is the workout going terribly. So I prioritize fueling over pretty much everything else. I would rather be running on 4 hours of sleep than on a 400 calorie deficit or 1400 calorie deficit. And that's how much I hate being underfueled. So got out of bed to have a bagel, and then we're going to go to bed. I'm not going to burn this bagel. I'm not going to do it. We got a new toaster. No more burnt bagels 2025. Bang, look at that. Almost perfect. That is almost perfect. I could have knocked it down to maybe 1/2 of a peg, but that's as good as you're going to get. Shout out to the Breville putting in work. And the back is not cold. That's the issue with the bagel thing sometimes, but man, that's a good bagel. I'm going to butter that thing up, or almond butter that thing up with some honey. I'll see you in the morning. Bang. Hold on, man. Look at this. They're talking about this new weight loss drug that the company who owns Ozempic was trying to launch. And the stock market analysts thought it could generate $20 billion in sales. You know what's not going to generate $20 billion in sales? Because it's gosh dang free and is better for you than any weight loss drug? Mileage. This is absolutely disgusting. Cagrasema. More like stacking mileage. Alright, here's our coffee for this morning. We got a new shipment of black and white. I'm going to try this blend. I don't usually order blends, but this looks fire. New school blend. Both fruity and clean. Pays its respects to the classics while simultaneously embracing innovation. A collision of worlds we simply couldn't resist. Sounds good. Let's give it a shot. Alright, man, we have the ASICS Glide Ride Max here. This has to be the most misunderstood shoe in ASICS lineup for sure, but also maybe in general. Maybe most misunderstood shoe by a mainstream brand on the market right now. And that is entirely ASICS' fault. They have done a terrible job marketing this shoe. And it's ironic because if you look across their lineup, Superblast, one of the most hyped up shoes. And I would argue maybe this is misunderstood too. People think it can do things it can't, but they've done a great job marketing this and positioning it as that long run chomping miles cruiser. ASICS Novablast 5, another one that, man, the hype machine is big on this one, and I love it. I'm part of that. But they've done a great job marketing this as that versatile everyday running shoe. The Glide Ride Max is so understood, and it seems ASICS put no marketing dollars behind it, no effort behind explaining what this is and what it's good for. So it has two different types of foam here. Top layer of FF Blast Max, which is the same foam that's in the new Novablast 5, and then bottom layer of FF Blast Plus. So it's basically like you took the top half of the Novablast 5 and smushed that down on top of a Nimbus, because bottom of Nimbus is FF Blast Plus. So if we think about what's good about the Novablast 5, lightweight, speed, bounce, much faster shoe than the Novablast 4, much faster shoe than the Nimbus, that's what you're getting on the top. And if you think about what's nice about the Nimbus 27, or even 26, it's the rocker, the comfort, also the upper here. So that combination is coming together in the Glide Ride Max. Nice upper, good comfort, soft step-in feel, beautiful rocker, and a nice bouncy foam on the top layer. They also do have some sort of a plastic plate in here. It's not very aggressive, but that's going to stabilize that big, tall stack of foam. So where I have most enjoyed this is those days where I just want something comfortable, where I can cruise, where I'm not going to worry about pace. But what I have noticed is that in this shoe, similar to the Nimbus, even though it is so tall and you think it's just a pure recovery shoe, I have to pick up the pace to get that pop and to get the most benefit. So true daily trainer with more fun to it. Soft, fun daily trainer. Now, because it's so tall but also lightweight, it's one of those unique shoes that rides smaller than it looks. Let's take in some measurements here though, just to see where it comes in. I actually haven't done a comparison yet of all these ASICS shoes, so we're gonna get it. I'm gonna throw them all on the scale, and we'll also get a stack check. So left shoe, and also let's see. Yeah, outsole wear here, not too bad so far. I think we probably have around 30 miles on this. But let's throw this on the scale. Left shoe comes in exactly 300 grams. That's crazy. I just went up to 300.5 grams when I moved the scale, but really close to 300 grams in the Glide Ride Max. Let's see how that compares to some of the stable mates over here from ASICS. So let's go cheap to expensive. Not that $104 is cheap, but lowest in price to highest. Nova Blast 5 comes in at 271 grams. So 271 in the Nova Blast 5, 300 in the Glide Ride Max. And we will do the stack height measurements after this to see how it all lines up. The Super Blast with the custom insole or new insole is 278.5. So that comes in between the Glide Ride Max and the Nova Blast 5. And then the Nimbus 27, by the way, these are all in a size 10.5 US. Nimbus 27 comes in at 316.5. Can you see that? Bang. So there we go. From lightest to heaviest in the ASICS comfort and distance marathon training lineup, you have Nova Blast 5 coming in at 270. Super Blast coming in at roughly 280 with that custom comfort insole. Glide Ride Max at 300 and Nimbus 27 at 300 roughly, and 316, some variation. So Nova Blast 5 is the heaviest. Nova Blast 5 is the lightest. Nimbus is the heaviest. But let's see how this compares when we take the stack measurements, because weight is only one part of the equation. And if we have heavy shoes with not a lot of stack, light shoes with a ton of stack, we're going to be getting more bang for our buck or less bang for our buck, and that might inform the ride even more than the weight does. So let me fire up the lab here. So since I've gotten these tools I got them for Christmas, so a few weeks now. I've been using them for maybe about a week. I've honed in on a few key measurements here. So the first is heel stack, and then the second is width. And those really play together. Width will tell you stability. Heel stack will tell you, heel stack will tell you a few things. We've been noticing that these foams are compressing over time. So if I have time at the end of the day, and depending how many miles we put on this shoe, we'll be able to see how much it compresses. But let's take a look at this. So we have our stack measurement tool, zero out this puppy, and put it in on paper in a size 9. Running Warehouse has this coming in at a 46 millimeter stack, something like that. Thing is, this is a size 10.5. It also has, roughly, again, 35 miles on it maybe. So it comes in at 41.4 grams. Let's take another measurement. I like taking a few measurements here just to make sure we're doing the right thing. Bada boom, bada bang. 40.9. Let me make sure I got the exact right spot down in the back here. I'm going to take it from right behind the S in the ASICS logo. 41.9. All right, we had some splay there, but we can call it 41 heel stack in the Glide Ride Max. Now, let's compare that to the Nova Blast 5. So 41 stack, but 300 grams. Now, Nova Blast 5 is 270 grams, but let's look at this stack. bang, coming in around 36. Let's take another measurement, zero it out here. Yeah, right around 36. This comes in at 35.8. So 36 heel stack. We can now rank these or have them lined up here by stack. So that's 36 in the back of the Nova Blast 5. 41 in the Glide Ride Max. Let's see Nimbus. And this thing is the Nimbus is a complete tank. This thing is an absolute whale. Nimbus comes in at 41.5. So now we can see some of the value you're getting out of the Glide Ride Max. Very similar stack height as the Nimbus, right? Both up around 41. And I'm not going to take a bunch of measurements on the Nimbus because I've already done that. Both around 41. But in the Glide Ride Max, you get about a 20 gram lighter weight, plus the top layer of bouncier foam. Now, if we do the Super Blast, I've also measured this one a bunch of times, but let's drop the stick in here just for fun. Zero this guy out. Comes in around 44 grams. Sorry, 44 millimeters. So this time we see Nova Blast lowest stacked at around 36. The Glide Ride Max is closer to the other guys at 41, Nimbus at 41, and the Super Blast is up at 44. So Glide Ride Max, as you can see now, it's a nice combination. And this is why it's a misunderstood shoe, because it does a lot of what these other shoes do, right? It has the same foam as the Nova Blast 5. It has the same stack as the Nimbus. It's not a super heavy shoe. It's a really unique shoe. There's nothing else like it on the market. Let's take one last measurement here. I've been doing this heel width measurement, and this gives us a proxy for stability. It will at least suggest to us how stable a shoe might be, a neutral shoe might be versus competitors. So this is 94 millimeters wide down at the base. The thing I've noticed about the Glide Ride Max, though, is that it does have this narrower, aggressive taper. So if we take this measurement closer to up where the heel is, you can see it's only 80 millimeters wide up at the heel versus the Nimbus. Hold on, what was this? I should really start keeping a spreadsheet of this stuff. What was this? Yeah, around 94 in the heel. And then Nimbus, let's take a look at this wide guy. Over 100 at the bottom of the heel, 103. And if we get up closer to the heel, up at 83. Okay, so Glide Ride Max isn't bad, but that's the key difference, right? That heel width at the base. Let's take a look at the Nova Blast versus the Glide Ride Max. Yeah, even this is up at almost 100. Yeah, this is up at 97 in the Nova Blast 5. And then Super Blast, this thing is pretty wide. Let's see if it's much wider than the Nova Blast. Nope, really similar to the Nova Blast. It's maybe 1 millimeter narrower. So Glide Ride Max, while it has the tallest stack, or second tallest stack right up there, it's tied for second tallest stack, it has a narrower base than any of these other shoes. All right, so that is a lot of data. I don't like data just for the sake of throwing out numbers, but all of those measurements tell us it's a lighter weight shoe. It has a lot of stack, but the foam is going to be airier. Because of that light weight, it's not going to be as dense, and lighter foams, as we know, will compress more. Heavier foams will be more resistant to that force. The interesting dynamic here, though, is that there is a plastic plate, which none of these other shoes have. We do have a narrower base, but again, because that plastic plate, hopefully that provides more stability, and I can verify the stability in here isn't terrible, but I do want to see how this foam does over time, because Nimbus 27, this is just a comfort cruiser. But versus something like the Super Blast, man, this thing is indestructible. This foam doesn't compress enough for me. I felt through my ride experience in the first 3, 4, 5 runs I've done in the Glide Ride Max, maybe it's compressing too much. Maybe the front is bottoming out. So I wanted today, throughout these runs I do in it, see how this foam holds up over time and get some projected durability, because it is $170. And if we line them up here, look at that. The way that they were lined up by stack is also the way that they're lined up by price. That's funny, right? So Nova Blast 5, 140, Glide Ride Max 170, Nimbus, oh no, these would be switched. I lied. Nimbus would be 165 or is 165. Glide Ride Max is 170, and then Super Blast is 200. So for a $170 shoe, I would like to see some durability and some versatility. So with that, I'm going to lace this thing up. I'm going to get super bundled. I'm not messing around with the cold anymore. I'm going to bring my nicest cold weather gear out. It is, let's see what it is. Yeah, it's still 21. That is no joke. 21, and we're still on snow watch for tomorrow. We'll see. Yeah, what's the feels like? 21. Feels like 16. Gosh dang, wind is making it colder. All right, we're going to get bundled, and then we're going to hit this cold weather run. The wind and the cold cannot stop us today. So clothes today, I have these merino tights. I'm going to put this under whatever joggers I find. I'm going to do triple layers up top with this guy as the outer layer. Now, I got this, Tracksmith actually sent this to me before my Ultra. They sent me a bunch of warm stuff. It looks too nice to run in. If you can see, it's this big, creamy white fleece, but at these temperatures, nothing is too nice to run in. So I'm going to see if this actually keeps me warm. I also don't know when else I would wear it, just because, I don't know, it's not, Charlie said it's don't touch me dad drip. It's not something I can really wear around the kids. So I might as well actually wear it to run. Hopefully it will keep me warm. So this with the tights, pants. Oh man, pants drawer is a mess. Like so many pants, but none that will keep me warm. I really don't have a lot of cold weather running gear, but we'll talk about the socks. Socks, I'm going smart wool socks, thick base layer. Yeah, look at this, thick base layer. I'll do the dad drip quarter zip. This isn't super thick. I don't even know where my hobby jogger one was, but this one will be underneath. So 3 up top. I'll find some joggers and we can go. By the way, the best indoor winter drip, or if you don't live in a super hot place, is the hobby jogger hoodie. A bunch of people just started receiving theirs this week and have been telling me they love it. I haven't talked about it too much on the channel, but dude, these things are elite. They're elite for the winter, super soft. The inside is some sort of fleece line material. It's heavyweight, it's oversized. It's so comfy. It's going to become your favorite hoodie if you buy it. So check it out, hobbyjogger.com. We also have the new running hats coming soon, so you can pre-order this. Kind of ridiculous in a gigantic all white fleece, but I will do anything to stay warm. The straight up does not look like something to run in, but I'm desperate at this point. All right, lacing up the Glide Ride Max. I have very large socks on today, so these are snug for sure. If you're going to use giant winter socks in them, I would go half a size up. But we're going to make it work today. The length is fine. It's just the volume isn't great with the big socks. I also find this a narrower and overall less forgiving fit than the Nimbus. It looks like the Nimbus, the vibe of it, but the volume of the upper, you can even just see here at the top, the Nimbus has more room. The Nimbus is a more comfort-oriented shoe all around. The Glide Ride Max, it does have that streamlined feel. Even though it's a soft foam with a high stack, it has a streamlined feel when you step into it. Which you saw, right? It's the narrowest shoe out of all those. It would be great if I could figure out some way to get upper volume measurements as well. Maybe just pouring water into each shoe and seeing how much water it takes to fill up the inside. That'd be hilarious. Now, if you could figure out a way to put a waterproof membrane that expanded to the inside form of the shoe, that would be cool, but that's beyond my capabilities. All right, yeah, true to size, if you're going to layer a ton of thick socks, go half a size up. Narrower toe box for sure. Then I think narrower toe box than any of the other ASICS shoes we pulled out today. I can feel my foot hanging off the side here, which does not happen to me in some of those other shoes. Let me see. I do have this tool here. Let me see if we can get a toe box width measurement. This is, okay, so front here, that comes in at 91. Let's take it from the same place in the Super Blast. Yes, Super Blast comes in at 96 with that same width spot. Look at this, dude. We're getting dangerous with these tools. I also just love it because a lot of the stuff that I feel, I can now measure and show that I'm not just making this up. This is actually reality. So yeah, narrower toe box here. I don't think they have a wide version of it. That would pretty much just be the Nimbus. If you want something wide that has this comfort, get the Nimbus. You're not going to get the soft pop of this, but very comfortable shoe on foot. I'm not sinking down too much, but it does have a nice comfortable step and feel, way more than something like the Super Blast. So with that, I'm gonna get my gloves and we can just bang this run. Let's do it. Had to lace up indoors today.
I couldn't find my hobby jogger beanie again because Charlie washed it. This is the coldest time of the year and I haven't had my hobby jogger beanie. So I can't even push the product. Go buy a hobby jogger beanie, hobbyjogger.com. I have the Captain America beanie on today. All right, let's get started here. Oh, and I'm warm to start, which is perfect. And man, this is what I wanted to feel right out of the gates here. And this is why I chose the Glide Ride Max and wanted to revisit it. This is just so comfortable. And you know what? This time of year is so uncomfortable. It's the most horrible time of the year. So I want a shoe that is going to pamper me and make it easy to hit some mileage. Make me feel like I'm Captain America, floating and flying along. And that's what I'm getting out of the Glide Ride Max. My concern with it, though, has been whether it's too soft. So hopefully with the colder temps today, we don't have that problem. Man, my legs are sleepy. I've been struggling to get back up to 100. I was looking at my Strava. I've only run 100 miles a week. I think 2 out of the last 8 weeks. Because I did the ultra and then was recovering. And then I finally got back up to 100. And it was the holidays. So I've been all over the place. But we're fighting for 100 this week. It's always a fight. I'm gonna have to fight for mileage next week because I'm traveling, being on a business trip from Tuesday to Friday, which is just gonna completely blow up my schedule. But guess what? It doesn't matter. That's how we put food on the table. So I'll figure everything else out. Yeah, I'm gonna aim for 100 next week, but might have to adjust. I'm really trying to get back up to cruising altitude, which is at 100. That's where I feel best for training. I'm not training for anything right now. I'm trying to get these training plans launched I actually just finished the sub 3 marathon plan. I would love to get these plans out to people, to just have them start using them. Coming soon though. Yeah, this is the perfect shoe for right now. We'll see how this holds up with an hour plus of running. But just cruising out of the gates here with my triple layers, double layers. This is what I need. Dual gloves and dual foam. Oh man, I might be too warm today. I chose one of my warmest base layers, and I chose the wool tights with the REI fleece line joggers. Maybe this was overkill. It said feels like 16, but this is more 25. Oh, wind is picking up though. Yeah, I think if the wind starts cutting and brings that feels like down, this is gonna be perfect. We'll just have to see. But the great thing about a fleece or a quarter zip, you can always just zip it, unzip it to let in more air. That was mile 1. I didn't check my watch, but I am going slow, probably 8:30 pace. I need to let my body warm up into this run. Yeah, man, I might need to just be going 8 per mile pace today. I did 2 workouts yesterday, which I rarely do. But I had the chance to take, the privilege to take Reevesy out in the stroller for some afternoon miles. I was planning to go to the gym to do treadmill run, but then Charles didn't want to take Reevesy to gymnastics with me, so I took him in the stroller, and I was initially planning to do super easy running on the treadmill, but because of that, I decided to stack a second workout and do a strength workout with the stroller. So I did 4 sets of 2 minutes, hard pushing uphill. Basically, all out. Getting up on my toes, driving, kicking the legs. And it's not a sprint because you can't sprint for 2 minutes, but putting down near maximal power, probably 90% effort for 2 minutes with that stroller. And a workout like that for me, injury risk is very low because of all the forces you're fighting against. The hill and the stroller, you can't put down as much impact on the legs. But I'm feeling it today. And that's the type of running specific workout that's great for building strength. I was reading the Training for the Uphill Athlete book, and they confirmed, this is confirmation bias, right? But they confirmed a lot of what I've been talking about recently, with the only point for strength training is to fill the gaps on weaknesses or if there's a deficiency. Otherwise, we're better off, the only point for gym strength training, that is. Otherwise, we're better off doing run specific stuff. So something like that is great for building running power. But man, I'm feeling it today. I have not felt this sluggish and tired with heavy legs on a run in a while. In the morning yesterday, I also did a running economy workout. About 10 reps at 45 seconds at 5K to 10K pace. But I think it's the afternoon one that got me. Wow, mile 2, 8:05. Sluggish. Yeah, this thing is warm. Just unzipped it to get some more air. This is a great shoe for just cruising, bopping along. It feels better at those super slow recovery paces. The extremely soft shoes for me, I can feel that I'm sinking in too much, which is ironic. But right now I'm going probably 740, more my normal daily zone, and these feel great. The right amount of squish and bounce. And my first rep with the stroller yesterday was up this giant hill right here. Just a long, sloping burn. You gotta fight for your right to mileage. Bro, we're out here fighting this morning. This is all out slug fest. Slug life, and I'm not talking about the creature. Talking about throwing haymakers against fatigue. Haymakers against the cold. Haymakers against the negative thoughts spiraling in my brain. We're fighting. We're fighting. Sometimes it's these random runs. I'm just going out for a random morning run that become the most challenging. And we gotta fight back. I'm not going outside today. I'll tell you this right now, I'm not going outside today. We're fighting. I might be throwing up some 8-minute paces. I might be feeling like my fitness is at the lowest point it's been in over a year, which by the way, it's not. Those are the negative thoughts spiraling. That's not true. I ran 2 hard workouts yesterday. We have to fight back. We have to fight back. I'm not going outside. The only sad I know is same activities daily. Grind, stack, repeat. GSD. Grind, stack daily. The first one would have been GSR. Here's the thing, man. If you're having a rough run and you're out here alone, there's nobody that's gonna pull you out of it except for you. You have to hype yourself up. You have to lie to yourself. You have to lie to yourself to say, I am feeling good today. You have to tell yourself, it's not that bad. Even if you're feeling like it's that bad, put my voice in your head saying, it's not that bad. Let me lie to you for you. I'll be the bad guy. And guess what? If you like negative reinforcement, I'll be that guy too. You're terrible. You can't do it. I'll be your hater. You're trash. You're awful. I'm just kidding. You're awesome. Keep going. Keep going. See, I'm hyping myself up. Now, we got this. We got this. We're shaking off the cobwebs of mediocrity. We're climbing out of the valley of mid. Let's go. Ooh. Who you calling small is big dog status. Who you calling cold? I already told you, hot boy women. Who you calling hard? Staying soft in my overpriced fleece that I got for free. And look at that, 7:54 pace. We're grinding. We're grinding that pace down. This is what I have to remind myself right now. And I'm gonna say it again. If you're going through a rough patch or just trying to grind it out this winter on the treadmill or outside in 3 layers, you're not running strong, you're not running fast, you're just trying to survive. Or maybe you're fighting off sicknesses, you're coming back from the flu or COVID. Let me tell you this, it will come back around. Have that in your head. It'll come back around. It'll come back around. No matter how bad you feel, it will come back around. I guarantee you. Stay consistent. Fight off injury and illness, or do the things to get yourself back if you are injured and sick, and it will come back around. And it stinks not being able to run strong, but guess what? We can't be putting up our best workouts every week of the year. The reason we're able to come out and drop crazy 10-mile threshold workouts in October leading into our goal races is because of these runs right here. So we can't forget that. These are the runs that allow us to be great later in the year. We got to keep stacking. And I'm gonna say this again too, and it's repetitive, but guess what? Running is gosh dang repetitive. I thought the GoPro died. Well, it did. Oh man, we can do one positive thing. One positive thing is that run is over. Let's do 3. Second is shoes were comfortable. Third is I stayed warm. 14 miles, 8:06 pace. Oh my goodness, 8:06 pace, 1 hour, 53 minutes, 30 seconds. Man, there's 2 ways to look at that run. First, I could say that was one of the worst runs I've had in a long time, both by effort and by pace. I could just not get those legs cranking. That stroller workout completely zapped me. But the other way I could look at it is, man, I didn't tell you guys my pace target or distance target because I didn't know if I was going to make it, but I had 14 in my head. Even before I did that stroller run yesterday, I knew I wanted to get a medium long run in this morning of 14, and I did it as Sam Darnold. So the other way I could look at it is, man, we did not quit. We kept going. We didn't stop at 8. It's like, what if Sam Darnold retired after being on the Jets? Look at him now. Man, my face just looks like my runs are bad right now. It's just one of those periods. Something about this colorway also does not show up on camera well. But we got 14. Who else is 14? I can't think of a lot of athletes who are 14. But Sam Darnold's a go on. We got 14. Let's throw it up in the ASICS Glide Ride Max. I was not gliding, but the shoe was helping me attempt to glide this morning. This is what I was saying out there. So 8:06 pace. I put up an 8:29 mile up the hill, and I can feel in my legs, holy cow, they're more blasted than after my ultra. So I'm just in one of those rocky periods. And this is what I was gonna say. Sometimes I do things that I wouldn't advise other people to do. And the reason why I decided to go 14 this morning versus cutting it at 8 or 10 is because next week I'm gonna be traveling for dang near the entire week, and then I'm gonna come home and it's MLK weekend, so long weekend here with the family. I know my mileage is gonna be all over the place. I haven't gotten my normal mileage in 4 to 5 weeks, and there's some times where you just need to force it. And for me, where I need to force it, and we can view these as mental toughness workouts. Now, everyone's gonna be different in terms of finding that line of what's overdoing it versus building mental strength. And there is a difference, because if, for example, my target today was 18 miles, or I were trying to do 14 miles at a sub 7 pace and wanted to put in 8 miles of marathon pace today, and it's days like this that make me question. I was out there and I was thinking, how the heck did I even run 26.2 miles at a 6:04 pace? But this is what I'm saying. It eventually does come back around. The fitness will come back around. We are laying the foundation, and this is one of those days where it's a mental workout. I just need to get through it. The pace wasn't hard, but the effort was high. I'm fatigued. The legs are shot from the stroller workout yesterday, but we got it done. 14 piece. What more can I say? Sometimes the mileage has to be good enough. So 14 in the Glide Ride Max, and holy cow, I can feel this green foam pushing it in. it is so firm and bricked up. But guess what? This shoe remained soft for the entirety of that run. It did not break up at all. It felt comfortable the whole time. And if you look at these splits again, man, I was all over the place. I had some miles around 8 flat, and then I got down to 7:45. I think that was my fastest mile. Then I completely tanked going up the hill. But this felt smooth, light, comfortable throughout the entirety of the run. Now, it does not feel like a fast shoe. The Nimbus might even have more bounce and speed assistance to it. And by the way, I'm cold. I think I'm gonna go in there and grab my jacket. All right, that's better. As I was saying, it has that light, soft comfort compared to the Nimbus. The Nimbus 27 might even be faster and bouncier, but this has a really lightweight, airy feel, and it didn't bottom out. It didn't feel too soft. Now, I have run it in the warmer temperatures, 55 degrees, 60, and it was on that line, but out here in the cold, it was perfect. So this is the winter hero shoe that we deserve. I've been struggling. This didn't help my runs feel any less strugglesome, but it did make it a touch more fun to run for this almost 2 hours. So good qualities of the shoe, lightweight for the amount of stack. The rocker is really nice. I can't feel the plate, but the dual foam also does mean that you get a really nice bounce from this FF Blast Max, and it doesn't feel like this foam is compressing too much. Now, we'll go inside at some point today and throw the measuring stick back in the back here to see how it does, to see if it has compressed below that 41, but it doesn't feel like it's getting too low. The Nimbus 27, on the other hand, I can feel with use that thing compresses a ton. The Nimbus 27 is a very soft shoe that is borderline too soft for me. Now, the other shoe I was thinking about when I was out there a lot was the Mizuno Neo Zen. That thing is faster than this, and it's also a lot lighter. It's crazy how light the Neo Zen is, and I also did do the stack check with that, and it does have a lot of stack. So this is not the ultimate in soft, bouncy, light comfort, but it's a solid daily trainer, and the stability is way better than the Mizuno Neo Zen. Today I had no stability issues, and I was running some of my slowest paces over the past year, man. This was a miserable, horrible, slow run. Again, you're gonna have to decide for yourself on days like this. Do you just cut it short or do you push through? It's a really personal decision when we're trying to build mileage, figuring out that line of going too much and pushing through to get the mileage versus cutting it to let the body recover. So I decided to push through. My legs are shot. I need to recover, but this was a solid shoe. Really solid shoe. I'm gonna try to fuel back up and maybe do another run today, but we can go inside, take some measurements in the lab. I did want to say, last thing out here, compared to the Super Blast, this has a lot more comfort. Super Blast has that mechanical, crunch, firm, workman-like feel, but I'm not sure if, yeah, I think I would have been even more miserable in the Super Blast for those last 6 miles when I was just trying to get through versus this. It's one of those shoes where if you are hanging back and struggling, even though it does have some nice pop and pep, so when I was getting down to 7:45 and trying to push it below, and I have done 6-minute pace in this, it does have nice pop and pep, but it's also not gonna punish me for trying to run too slow. Super Blast feels like it punishes me for trying to run too slow. Then the other comparison I wanted to do is Nova Blast 5. This feels more protective, more soft comfort than the Nova Blast 5, and like the Super Blast, more of a relaxed capability. Nova Blast 5 has a speed capability and is the fastest out of all of those shoes. Yes, even faster than a Super Blast. Super Blast is more of that mileage crusher. Nova Blast is more of a speed capability cruiser where you can also do some strides in it. This is that ultimate in comfort for hanging back. And Nimbus is gonna be the best one for walking and casual use. So that's the comparison of the ASICS lineup. This thing is a complete winter banger. This is the shoe I needed today. Terrible run, but I stayed warm and I got it done. And guess what? We live to fight another day, maybe even live to fight this afternoon. So that's all I have out here. I'm gonna go inside, warm up. Man, it also feels like because these socks are so thick, I jam my toe up against the front of this toe box. I'm wearing the 1080s now, but I can feel it And even these are a size 11. But I wore very thick socks. Winter, man. Can't live with it, can't live without it. This is what I was thinking. Out there, people always say the thing about the unstoppable force meeting an immovable object. The immovable object is going to win every time. A force implies that someone or something got it going, that there's some life to it. And people say, oh, this guy's unstoppable. People call me unstoppable. No, I'm very stoppable. Winter is the immovable force, and it is winning. Or the immovable object. Winter is the immovable object, and is undefeated. Alright, real quick, see if this stack has compressed at all after this run. It was 41 before. Coming in at 40. Let's do another check. I just want to make sure we're measuring it accurately. Nope. Yeah, no, there's a few measurements. They're all coming in right around 40, 41. So hasn't compressed at all, which is good. If I saw 2 or 3 millimeters difference, then that would be significant. But this is probably just variation within the measuring tool. So no compression after a 14-mile run. We'll check it later this afternoon as well. All right, this is refuel part 1. I need it. Another lunch desk, but 2 bagel sandwiches. Bang, let's brighten it up a touch. These are just the Trader Joe's bagels, not the family dough fire ones, but someone's got to eat them. And then we have the black bean chipotle patty with some honey mustard. So I'm going to have 2 of these. And then in the other room, Charles was making some more healthful whole food lunch. So there's the quinoa here. Is that off? Yes, it is. And then I'll pull these out of the oven because I actually think they're done. But this is what we need. This is literally what I need right now to get back on track. Look at this thing. Sweet potato, broccoli, tofu. I think that's done. That looks done. I don't know where Charlie is, but she just left this in here, so I'm going to take it out. Looks fire, so I'll throw some of this with the quinoa, and that'll be part 2. I am refueling heavy right now. We're going heavy and hard on the calories today. Bang. Also, in the afternoon coffee, I'm trying this other one, the Tuke Yute, natural process from Ethiopia. They say the notes are floral, pineapple, raspberry, and milk chocolate. The blend this morning was absolute flames. Definitely the best blend I've ever had. It was sweet and salty at the same time. It was really good. I don't even know how I would describe it. It was like a chocolate-covered raspberry or something like that. It was insane. So I'm excited for this one. Tuke Yute, natural process. Get the water going. See you in a bit. All right, boom. Part 1's almost done. Bang. Part 2. This is the big boy refuel today. This is what I should have been doing all week. Well, look at this. Sweet potatoes, teriyaki tofu, broccoli, quinoa. We're going to be out there firing tomorrow. Legs popping off. I can already feel it. Let's go. All right, man. Run number 2. It's time. It's usually days like this where I'm dreading the second run. But guess what? We got those carbs in. I feel refueled. We went to Carbon County. Not with an O, with an I. That's a new thing this week, Carbon County. And I feel so much better. And I'm going to rock my comfiest, coziest shoes to drive to the gym. Because that's what it is. It's soft boy winter. So we're going 1080. I'm going to grab our Glide Ride Max. And we can do this gosh dang thing. I also have to go drop some things off at the post office. But you know, I'm not going to bore you with all that. I'll just see you when this run is over. Brilliant, mate.
I know I said I'd see you after the run, but this is just too gosh dang good not to show on the camera. Isn't this a brilliant place for a bike? It's a brilliant place for a bike. Crikey, mate. Put the bike right in front of the Jeep. The buggy's gonna break the bricks. It's not how we do it out in Brisbane. Bang! Another double in the books. That's what we call putting in the work. Let's finish this out. Watch said 8.23. We got 8 exactly. Let's recalibrate this thing. And man, is runs like this in days like today, it's not the hard grinder sessions. It's these runs where you really turn yourself into a savage. I'm telling you, man, I honestly feel prouder of getting 22 today than I do of anything I did in the Chicago Marathon build. And also, I was on the treadmill, so first half I listened to Covert Coup again. Man, it was hitting so good. I think that might be my favorite album of all time, Currency Alchemist. And second half I listened to Hell on Earth, Mobb Deep, part of it. I also listened to the new ESTG song, but when the first song came on, Animal Instinct, on Hell on Earth, I was feeling ready. I was feeling ready to do sub 230, just start getting after it again. I don't know, though, but this is what I'm saying, man. So we got 22 in the Glide Ride today, Glide Ride Max. Before I talk about the shoe, there's a difference between being good and being great. And it's these days like today where I have to remind myself what it takes to run these 100 miles a week, 100-mile weeks, and to consistently execute and to get the best out of myself. Good or good enough would have been to stop at 6 miles when I wasn't feeling it. Great for me, and I'm just talking about my own standards. As Mike Tomlin says, the standard is the standard. My own standards for myself. Great is going the full 14, doing what I committed to do, pushing through even when I feel like absolute garbage, and then doubling back and putting up the full 22-mile day that I had in my head the whole time. Good enough would have been to do a short recovery run and say I'm not feeling it and it's cold and I have stuff to do. And no, I want to be great at what I'm doing. I want to be great at applying the training concepts, at uncovering the best way to train, at translating the existing theory out there for you all. And this is what it's required for me. Now, I was thinking on the treadmill, I understand the risk of talking about this. I don't want to encourage anybody to overtrain and say, oh, because he runs 14 miles when he's feeling terrible, that I should do that too. No, it's so personal. Training is so personal. High mileage is not for everybody, or my mileage is not for everybody. This isn't even high mileage compared to what some of the pros do, right? So it's all about ourselves, and if you want to be great, defining what great is for yourself within your own resources and constraints. And that's the hobby jogger lifestyle, baby. Just coming out here, getting after it. And these days, these are the days that remind me why I do it. It's to build that consistency, to maintain the habit, and to remind myself. These days remind me. It just reminds me of the work it takes. All right, 22 miles in the Glide Ride Max. I already did the full thing earlier, but this is a great shoe. This is a complete banger, man. Do we even have the right lighting on this? Yeah, we do. But this is a complete banger. I absolutely love this shoe, and it reminds me a lot of the shoe I'm wearing right now. It might be the best replacement on the market for this guy, the New Balance 1080. I haven't quite ever been able to find a replacement for it, but very similar shoes. That soft underfoot comfort, slight bounce. Now, some people found a fighting against the foam feeling in the 1080. I never got that. So if you're looking for a replacement for the 1080, or you just want a soft winter cruiser, man, this thing is the business. This is the real deal. It's so comfortable. It's great for running outside. It's great for running on the treadmill. It wasn't too soft for running on the treadmill. They also have some better colorways of it now. So yeah, man, this is the hero we deserve this winter, to make these tough winter miles a tiny bit easier. So that's all I have for you guys today. I'm going to drive home. You got to define your own version of what it means to be great within running or life, but
We're all on our own path. Don't do what I do. Do what you need to do to be great. But that's what it's all about. I didn't come out here to be good. I didn't start this YouTube channel to just be good. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow.